If cracking IIT JEE has been your dream, but at this stage you feel stuck, you feel like losing hopes and you're thinking of giving up, I request you to stop right there. You have this opportunity. The next 15 minutes can change everything. In this video, you will revise this entire chapter vector algebra with the help of 15 handpicked, powerful, high-yield questions, and this video in 15 minutes will help you completely, thoroughly, extensively and effectively with the chapter vector algebra. So one video, 15 minutes video, 15 quality questions, no time waste, pure conceptual clarity, and done. With that, let's get started. Let's get started with the first question. It says box of ABC is 4 and we need to find box of A cross B, B cross C and C cross A. Pause the video and try it by yourself. The solution is pretty simple here. All I'll say is that A cross B, B cross C and C cross A. The box of it is given by A cross B dot of cross of B cross C and C cross A. Let's say B cross C is M for a while. So I'm replacing this by M. So it is M cross C cross A. We know the vector triple product. So M cross C cross A is given by M dot A of C minus M dot C of A, where M is B cross C. And outside we already have this A cross B. We know that M is B cross C. So B cross C dot C will be 0 because B cross C and C will be perpendicular to each other. That means this entire becomes 0. So you are left with this dot this vector, this type C vector. I hope you can very clearly see that A cross B dot C will be box of ABC, and here M dot A, what is M? M is B cross C. So B cross C dot A will again be box of ABC. So box of ABC into box of ABC will be square of box of ABC. That's the answer to the first question. Second question. Vector ABC form the sides BC, CA and AB. Then what holds true here? I'll simply say that what do we know? That for any triangle ABC, if its sides are vector A, vector B and vector C, then the area is given by half of mod of A cross B or half of mod of B cross C or half of mod of C cross A. There we know that A cross B, B cross C and C cross A could be equal. That is what we are given in option B. You can check for the other options as well, which are definitely not always true or not necessarily always true. Next question says vector A is given by this, vector B is given by this. The third vector C is the cross product of A and B. Then we need to find the ratio of mod A, mod B, mod C. The approach is pretty simple. First of all, let us find vector C, which is A cross B. It is given by I cap, J cap, K cap in a determinant. Vector A, which is 3, minus 5, 0. Vector B, which is 6, 3 and 0. We simply expand it along with the third column, and there we see K cap times 3 into 3 minus 6 into minus 5, that is 39 K cap. From here, we find mod of vector C will be 39. Vector A's mod will be given by under root over 3 square plus 5 square. Mod V will be given by under root over 6 square plus 3 square. So that's how you can find the ratio of mod A, mod B and mod C. Look at the next question. It says vector AB is given by this, vector AC is given by this, and they are the sides of the triangle ABC. Then you are asked to write the length of the median through A. First of all, try and visualize this here. Vector ABC is given, side AB is given, side AC is given, and then through a median AD is drawn. Through section formula, we know that AB plus AC divided by 2, AB plus AC divided by 2 will be AD. By having AB plus AC by 2, I can find AD, and we know how to find the mod of it. Under root over square of 4 plus square of 1 plus square of 4. That's your length of the median through A. Look at the next question. What does it say? Vector U is given. Vector U is given by I plus J. Vector V is given by I minus J. And vector W is given by I plus 2J plus 3K. There. N cap is a unit vector which fulfills two conditions, U dot n cap and V dot n cap is 0, which means U and V are perpendicular to the vector n cap. And then we are asked mod of W dot n cap. First of all, please understand, when somebody says that n vector is perpendicular on U cap, n vector is perpendicular on V cap, then let's say in a plane vector U and vector B lie. So the normal vector to that plane will be parallel to vector U and cross V, U cross V, because that is the normal vector. So if u cross v's unit vector is found, which is u cross v upon mod of u cross v. That is nothing but n cap, because n cap is a unit vector perpendicular to both vectors u and v. That is how you write it. Now, I need to find w dot n cap. So w dot u cross v upon mod of u cross v. I hope you got it. So w dot u cross v means what? Scalar triple product. How do we find scalar triple product? W dot u cross v, this scalar triple product can be found by writing the w vector 1, 2, 3, then u vector 1, 1, 0, then v vector 1, minus 1, 0, and you take its determinant. Its determinant by expansion will be found as minus 6, but I need to take mod of it. Mod of minus 6 will be 6. Now, the next part is, how do we find u cross v? That's again a very simple task. U cross v will be given by I cap, j cap, k cap, and then vector u, vector b. Or you can simply write it in component form, and that's how also you can find it out, u cross b. Here, I cross I 0, I cross j, k cap. Here, j cross I minus k cap, and j cross j 0. Through that, minus 2k cap will be the u cross v's value. Mod of u cross v will be 2. We need to find this upon this. This is 6, this is 2. Answer will be 3. Next question says that if a cross b is equal to b cross c is equal to c cross a, then find a plus b plus c. Let's say a plus b plus c is R, a vector R. So here, if I take its cross product with a on both these sides, I'll say a cross a cross b, a cross c is equals to a cross R. A cross A will be 0 because they are parallel, they are the same vector, sin 0 is 0. A cross B and A cross C is what you're left with, is equal to A cross R. A cross C I can write as minus C cross A if I swap these vectors, and we know we are given in the question that A cross B is equal to B cross C is equal to C cross A, which means A cross B is equal to C cross A, which means this should be 0. I cracked that A cross R is 0. Once you have cracked A cross R 0, similarly in the same fashion, can you not say B cross R and C cross R will also be 0? So if there exists a vector R, which is the linear combination of vector A, B and C, which fulfills these three conditions, that R cross A, R cross B, R cross C, all three are 0, that is possible only when vector R is 0. Accordingly, option can be marked. Next question says UVW are three non-coplanar vectors. Mind you, non-coplanar vectors, where this is what you're given. Now this expression's value when simplified, I hope you can see that these are three vectors. This dot this cross this, STP of three vectors is needed to be taken. So first of all, I'll simplify this and then I'll simplify this. How do we do this? See, u minus v cross v minus w. So I'll multiply u with this v, then u with this w, then v with this v, then v with this w. This is the product which I get. I hope this is a cross product, you are understanding it. So v cross v will be 0. So this is eliminated or discarded or rejected. Here you have u cross v, u cross w, v cross w. Now each of these three I'll multiply to these three. So I get 9 combinations. I'll begin with this first one. U dot u cross v. So u dot u cross v will be perpendicular to u, and on that basis wherever I see again u dot u cross w, that will be 0, and I'll be left with this only from this first iteration. In the second product, v dot u cross w, v dot u cross v, I repeat, v dot u cross v will be perpendicular mutually. This will be perpendicular to this, which means dot product will be 0. Here also v dot v cross w will be 0. So this is discarded. Similarly, w dot this will get discarded. W dot this get discarded because they are perpendicular. So I'm left with 3 products only, which are this, this and this. Now cyclicity must be maintained. So UVW, that is box of UVW, great. This is VUW, that is opposite, the order is not maintained. So if I swap them, I'll have them as plus of UVW, and here UVW, the order is correct, so I'll write it as box of UVW. So box of UVW minus box of UVW is cancelled, and I'm left with box of UVW only. Did you get that? Next question will be this, where you are given a tetrahedron which has 4 vertices, of course, OABC, and then you need to find the angle between faces OAB and ABC. So here, this is your tetrahedron. The face OAB is given like this, and the face ABC is given like this. I hope you can see them very clearly. Would you not agree that perpendicular vector to the face OAB and the perpendicular vector to the face ABC, if I draw the normal vectors to these two faces, they'll have the same angle. the angle which these two faces have between them. I hope you can see that in 3D, you can visualize it in 3D. So I'll say that let's find the perpendicular vector to the face OAB. So here in OAB, if I take the cross of OA with OB, I'll find a normal vector perpendicular to the face, the plane OAB, which let's say I'm denoting by N1. Similarly, if I find the cross of AB with AC, I'll find a normal vector perpendicular to the plane ABC, which is found with this method, cross product. I hope you know how to find that. So this is vector N1, this is vector N2. Two vectors are given. Do you not know how to find the angle between them? So cos theta, theta is the angle between these two normal vectors, which will be the angle between those two faces, is given by N1 dot N2 upon mod N1 mod N2. Dot product is found by multiplying their corresponding I cap, J cap, K cap components, and modulus you already know. With that you can find cos theta, and theta will be cos inverse 19 by 35. Moving ahead, moving further, what do we see next? The next question says that this determinant is what you're given. Great, perfect. But we are told 1a square, 1b square, and 1c square. These are the three vectors which are non-coplanar. So whenever you see three vectors to be non-coplanar, we know their determinant should be non-zero. That determinant should not be equal to 0. Do you remember that? So here the ABC is what we are asked. I'll say this is what I'm given, this determinant I'm given, right? So a square 1 plus a cube, b square 1 plus b cube, and so on. Do you know in determinants we can split it in terms of addition? If I just keep these two columns same, but if I could split this third column, so I'll split it like a square 1 and a square a cube. In the same fashion, the other two rows are also splitted like this. But here what you need to understand is that from the second determinant, I can take A common from the first row, B common from the second row, and C common from the third row. When you do so, this determinant will look completely identical. You need to interchange two rows basically. So minus minus will be plus, and you're left with this determinant plus ABC times the same determinant. So if I take this determinant common, which is 1a square and so on, I'll be left with 1 plus ABC. What we were told? We were told that 1a square, 1b square, 1c square, these three vectors were non-coplanar, which means this cannot be 0. If this cannot be 0, still the product is 0, which means this factor should be 0, which means ABC should be minus 1. Moving ahead with the next question, it says 4 points with their position vectors are given, and then ABCD is what we are asked, parallelogram, square, rhombus and all. So what I'll do is I'll find AB, I'll find BC, I'll find I'll find CD, and I'll find AD. These are the four sides of that quadrilateral. What we all can see is 7, 7, root 41, root 17. Of course, it cannot create a parallelogram because opposite sides should be equal, and if it is not a parallelogram, it cannot be a rhombus. It clearly cannot be a square. Of course, all the four sides are not equal. I'll say none of these. Moving ahead with the next question, what do we see here? A, B, C are non-coplanar vectors, mind you, non-coplanar, and lambda is a real number. Then vector A plus 2B plus 3C, lambda B plus 4C, and 2 lambda minus C are non-coplanar. So if A, B, C are non-coplanar, I can write some other vectors as a linear combination of these three non-coplanar vectors, which are this, this, and this. And I am told that they are non-coplanar. As we have just discussed, the condition for coplanarity, that the determinant should be 0, but they are non-coplanar, which means determinant should not be 0. So if I write the determinant with A, B, and C vectors component, so vector in the form of components of A, B, and C. So vector, this first vector has the components 1, 2, 3. The second vector has 0, lambda 4. I hope you can see. The third vector is 0, 0, 2 lambda minus 1. This determinant should be 0. When you expand this determinant, you see lambda has two values, 0 and 1 by 2. For these two values, it will be coplanar, which means I'll say all the values of lambda, all the real values of lambda, except for two values which are 0 and 1 by 2, it will be non-coplanar, because then it will be non-zero. Moving ahead with the next question, what do we see? A, B, and C are three non-zero vectors such that two of these are collinear. Great. A plus 2B is collinear with B, and B plus 3C is collinear with A. Great. Let's utilize that. Here we need to find A plus 2B plus 6C. All I'll say is that we are told A plus 2B is parallel to C. That means A plus 2B is any scalar T times factor C. We are told B plus 3C is parallel to A or collinear to A. That means B plus 3C can be a scalar lambda times factor A. From here, If I write B, so it will be lambda A minus 3C, and this value I'm substituting here. So I'll get an expression into this where I'll write all the terms in A and C on the one side and all the scalar terms, unknown terms with A and C on the other side. If I compare the coefficients, minus 2 lambda will be 1 and T will be minus 6. Once you have cracked the T as minus 6, I'll replace that minus 6 here. I'll have A plus 2B is equal to minus 6C, which means A plus 2B plus 6C is equal to 0, which you can mark accordingly in the option 1. Moving ahead with the next question, what does it say? Vector A, vector B and vector C are non-zero vectors such that A cross B cross C is equal to 1/3 of mod B mod C times vector A. Theta is the acute angle between the vectors B and C, then sine theta is what you need to find out. First of all, we know how to find A cross B cross C. It is A dot C of B minus B dot C of vector A, vector triple product. Now, this is 1/3 of mod B mod C vector A of vector A. So here, if there is only vector A on the right hand side, there should be only vector A on the left hand side, which means this should be 0, which means A dot C should be 0. So I'm left with this expression only. B dot C will be equal to, negative of B dot C will be equal to 1/3 of mod B mod C, which means B dot C is mod B mod C cos theta. So mod B mod C is cancelled by this and cos theta is found to be minus 1/3. From here, sine theta will be under root over 1 minus cos square theta, because sine theta is acute, it should be positive, which means 2 root 2 by 3. It should not be a negative value. The next question says U, V, W are three vectors and their magnitudes are given, and we are told projection of V along U is equal to projection of W along U, and V and W are perpendicular. Then this is what we need to find out. First of all, how do you write the projection of V along U? It is V dot U by mod U, which is V dot U by 2, because mod U is 2. Projection of W along U is given by W dot U by mod U. It should be W dot U by 2. We clearly see that these two projections are given to be equal as per the question, which means V dot U will be equal to W dot U. Great. Third thing, we were told that V dot W should be 0 because V and W are perpendicular vectors. If I take the square of U minus V plus W, it will be mod U square, mod V square, mod W square. Then 2 times U dot V will be equal to 2 times U dot W. I hope you can see it very clearly. And that's how this gets cancelled by this, because they are opposite in sign. V dot W will be 0, which means this should be equal to this, which means this should be under root of U square, V square, W square. U, V, W, their magnitudes are given in the question, and on that you can find out the correct answer to this question. The next question says a particle is acted by constant forces, this one and this one. So these are two forces, and through these two forces, the particle has displaced from that point to this point. So this is its final position, this is the initial position. So final position minus initial position gives you the displacement of that particle. Force into displacement gives you the work done. So first force dot the displacement gives you 24. First work done by first force, second force dot the displacement done by that will be the work done by second force. So total work done will be this plus this, which is 40. I hope you must have learnt and enjoyed a lot through this video. Let's meet in the next video where we'll continue this series with the next chapter.